Think about the most capable, reliable person you know. The one who always has everything under control, who solves everyone else's problems, and who never, under any circumstances, asks for help. To the outside world, they look hyper-independent, invincible, and deeply confident. But in psychology, extreme independence isn't always a sign of strength. More often than not, it is a trauma response, an invisible armor built by a mind that learned very early on that relying on others is dangerous. Why do some of the most intelligent and capable individuals find it physically uncomfortable to say four simple words? I need your help. Welcome back to Sigma Intelligence. Today, we are decoding the deep, hidden psychology of people who refuse to ask for help and revealing the quiet, internal mechanisms behind hyper-independence. In psychological literature, there is a distinct difference between healthy autonomy and hyper-independence. Healthy autonomy means you are capable of standing on your own 2 feet, but you freely collaborate and ask for support when a task exceeds your bandwidth. Hyper-independence, on the other hand, is an instinctual refusal to accept assistance, even when you are drowning. Psychologists view hyper-independence as a pre-attachment defense strategy. It usually develops in environments where early trust was broken. If a person grew up around emotional inconsistency, neglect, or people who made help feel like a burden, their brain reached a logical conclusion. If I don't expect anything from anyone, I can never be disappointed, betrayed, or burdened. Over time, self-reliance stops being just a habit. It becomes a survival mechanism. For an analytical, high-functioning mind, asking for help feels like an admission of failure. In their cognitive framework, vulnerability is directly mapped to danger. When you ask someone for help, you hand over a degree of control. You risk being judged, rejected, or viewed as incompetent, 3 things an insecurely attached mind cannot tolerate. Furthermore, hyper-independent people often carry a subconscious belief known as transactional emotional debt. They assume that if someone helps them, that help comes with hidden strings attached. They fear that accepting a favor creates an unwritten contract where they now owe the other person, or worse, that the favor will be brought up and used against them in a future argument. To avoid being controlled or indebted, they prefer to carry every weight alone. Why are highly intelligent individuals disproportionately prone to this mindset? The answer often traces back to a phenomenon known as parentification. Many hyper-independent adults were forced to mature too early. As children or young adults, they were thrust into roles where they had to manage the emotional state of their parents, handle adult responsibilities, or serve as the primary problem solver in their household. When a young mind learns that its value is tied strictly to what it can provide rather than who it is, it develops an over-functioning identity. They become the caretaker, the pillar, and the organizer. Because everyone else relies on them, they absorb the dangerous belief that they aren't allowed to have needs of their own. Asking for help feels selfish because their entire identity is built on being the one who gives help, not the one who receives it. Beneath the surface of hyper-independence lies a deep need for cognitive and environmental control. When you handle a task yourself, you control the quality, the timeline, and the outcome. Delegating a task to someone else requires trusting their competence and accepting the possibility of mistakes or delay. To a high IQ individual who demands precision, the mental tax of managing someone else's work often feels higher than simply doing the job themselves. They tell themselves, "It's just faster and easier if I do it." While this mindset produces short-term efficiency, it creates long-term isolation. By refusing to delegate or accept help, they build a psychological prison where they are trapped under the weight of their own competence. The ultimate trap of hyper-independence is that it limits your actual scale. No matter how brilliant, capable, or resilient you are as an individual, your personal bandwidth is biologically limited. Refusing to ask for help doesn't make you powerful. It caps your potential at the exact boundary of what one human body can execute alone. From a Sigma intelligence standpoint, true power lies in strategic optimization. Accepting assistance, delegating effectively, and allowing capable people into your orbit isn't a sign of vulnerability, it is tactical leverage. It frees up your processing capacity, so you can focus on high-level problem-solving, strategic growth, and long-term vision. Real strength isn't carrying every heavy object alone. It's knowing which objects are worth carrying yourself, and which should be delegated. If you recognize yourself in this breakdown, understand that your self-reliance brought you far, but it doesn't have to carry you alone forever. Unlearning hyper-independence doesn't mean becoming dependent on others. It simply means recognizing that allowing support into your life isn't a vulnerability, it's a force multiplier. Do you struggle with asking for help, or do you prefer handling everything yourself? Let's discuss it in the comments below. If this deep dive hit home, drop a like, share this video, and hit that subscribe button to join the Sigma Intelligence community. Thanks for watching and stay sharp.